I'm sure this is coming from a place of sincere want for things to be good, okay? I'm sure it is. I'm going to ignore and neglect the fact that you're coming in the comments of a Northeast African femme whose uncles, so my parents' siblings, served against the ISNOT in one of the more recent invasions of my country, because they don't just limit themselves to the borders that they stole. So you're coming in with a bit of tone policing. I'm pointing it out to you gently. I'm also going to tell you why this doesn't work. If we're going to go based on research, okay? Colonial mentalities and people that believe in some form of supremacy tend to be pretty high on the narcissistic spectrum, if not fully with NPD, okay? And research has proven that these people do not do things to improve themselves and actually perform improvement to continue harm. Therefore, they do not deserve second chances, okay? I'm talking now about people who quite literally saw the unheading of babies, the dismembering of human beings, the kabooming of journalists, the propaganda machine, the use of an attack dog to terminate a disabled man or child, the use of a tank to run over another child for fun, terminating him as well. These are all things that these individuals have access to and either looked at and decided to continue to delay their support for the liberation of people, or that they deliberately refused to look at because they wanted to be right. That to me screams narcissism. But even if we were to ignore that and simply go based on history, okay? This is not the first time in history where an oppressed group is given stolen land by the people who stole it and then proceed to exterminate the indigenous population of the land. The moment that it happened before was your ancestors. Because here is the elephant in the room, okay? Descendants of colonizers are not primarily the capitalists that were kicked out of the country, which were, by the way, unwanted already by the country. So they're still unwanted by those empires, okay? The rest of you were also unwanted as well, the rest of your ancestors. And they were sent here essentially to either die or occupy the land in the name of the crown. Which, if you are in the United States, you've separated yourself from the crown and remained capitalistic. Or here in Canada, we like to pretend that we separated ourselves from the crown, which we haven't. And either way, it's all stolen land. And what happened? I'd like you to ask yourself, what happened to the indigenous people that gave mercy and patience and other chances to the people who came on their land with ammunition, but were starving and didn't know how to survive the climate? I would like you to ask yourself, what happened to the kindness and to the indigenous people, okay, and their kindness when they gave a second chance to your ancestors? I'll give you all, not just the commenter, I will give you all a moment to sit and think about that. Okay, so now that we are back at the conversation table, tell me again that I should welcome these individuals with malicious intent and performative allyship who are self-serving. Tell me why, as a person who is stolen on stolen land, okay, tell me why I should show them empathy and sacrifice myself and my safety and the safety of my own for them. Because the truth is, it doesn't work, does it? When we give some people second chances, they just abuse and use more violins to get what they think they are entitled to take from other people. Whether that is time and energy or actual resources beyond human resources. Because let me tell you that human resources includes our time and energy. And I think as a stolen person on stolen land, I think my parents paid the price for their sins. I don't intend to continue to do what they did or continue to do. I don't give second chances. I don't. Not when someone has proven that for 2 years they can continue to wear rose-colored glasses and then they do the bare minimum when they want to pretend to give back reparations, which they aren't. Because advocating for the right thing and self-sacrifice is reparations. And none of them are doing that. So again, if I can ignore the uncomfortable truth of the tone policing in the room of a Northeast African femme, okay? Can you ignore what your genetic lineage has done to the indigenous people of the land that they have stolen? And people who continue to steal land have no business advocating for somebody else to stop stealing it. Some food for thought and some discomfort to sit in.